right, got one more feature I want to go over, the beta. Weren't sure we're going to make it one of our key features, but we decided it's important enough to put it in here and make it and show you guys how it works. Otherwise, we're afraid you'll never find it, even though it's in the release notes. So, minimum grid size. So, you know, one of the nice things about NX Witness is when you use it, when you drag and drop resources onto the viewing grid, as we like to call it, then you see they take up the full screen immediately, and as you drag and drop more, it kind of adapts to what you're doing, and it kind of resizes and fits all these different cameras you're dropping in here. Hello. So, I mean, that's the nice thing about NX Witness. But some people are used to a more traditional kind of fixed layout grid, where you can kind of define the number of, you know, items you can put onto the grid, as opposed to let it adapt, let it be flexible. And that's fine. I mean, there's different use cases for that. I can think of a couple in terms of like why you might want to have a fixed layout. Maybe you just want to have a limited number of items that your operators can interact with at a single time. Maybe you want to have like I said, we don't have that feature right now, but potentially you could have the ability to, for example, have action a sell item as an action, as an alarm, and you want to reserve that spot for like an alarm. That's fine too. But anyways, there's lots of reasons why people might want this feature, and it's been implemented inside of the 4.0 beta. So it's called minimum grid size on layouts, right? Users now have the option to set a minimum viewing grid size. That's the initial number of viewing grid items in the layout settings dialog. So that's what this looks like right here. You can see minimum grid size is toggled on, and I've got a minimum width of 4 and a minimum height of 4, right? Obviously screen sizes change, so this will be adaptive. But how it works is you kind of right click on a layout, anywhere in the layout, and select layout settings. Then you toggle the minimum grid size to green, so you can see that it's on. And then you set the minimum grid width or height for the minimum number of cells that you'd like to display, either vertically, just up and down, or horizontally, which is side to side. So how's it actually work in real life? Well, you go here, right click, go to layout settings. You see minimum grid size here, you click yes. I want a minimum width of 4 because my computer's got a large horizontal spot, and I press OK. And nothing really looks like it changed, right? But now when I drag a camera on, it's going to take up one of those 4 grid spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? I can go ahead and change it again. Let's see if it works here. So let's say I want a minimum grid height of 6 cells. Let's make it conflict and see what it does, because I haven't tried that yet. So whatever the minimum is, the bigger it'll go with that. So I said minimum 6 and minimum 4, so it went with 6 as the minimum for the height, because I set that as the minimum for the height, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try it again. So let's change this to 2, and let's change this one to 2. All right, and you'll see we got 4 width 2, height 2, minimum. Okay, and we got 4. That's interesting. My guess is that's a bug. Oh, nope, you just had to drag it around until it got to its minimum. I was completely wrong. So let's see if we could do it again. And by the way, you guys, this is what a beta is all about, is for you guys to try and break it. So it doesn't look like it likes the idea of a minimum of 2. So let's see. Oh, there you go. So now if I drag it in, it will never get smaller than 2, I think is the key. Yeah, that's the key. So it was already bigger, so it will never get smaller than whatever the minimum grid size is. Let's go back and change it again. Let me see if I change it to 4. I'm gonna try and break it. So okay, so now I go straight to height, width. No, didn't break it. Let's go one more. Let's go 3. All right, how's that work? Okay, so now it's just bumped over to 3. I do it again. I'm gonna go with 2. Okay, it's automatically changed. So that was just a bug the way it was working earlier. So it should automatically adapt, but it's a pretty cool new feature, minimum grid size on layout. So download the beta, check it out.